I hope you all are safe at your home. So as you can see from the image, today in the video we are going to learn chapter number 9, the mango story. Okay, so let us begin. It is a very funny story. Okay, you are going to enjoy it. So listen to me very carefully so that you can enjoy the chapter. Okay. It was a day the children of Springer School looked forward to Grandparents' Day. This day meant loads of fun, storytelling, games, activities, and singing. Amit's grandfather, Mr. Sharma, was quite a favorite with the children of class 5. He always had funny stories to tell. He would ask the children questions in between, sing a song or two, and sometimes get them to wear masks and act. Okay, so here is the introduction of Mr. Sharma, who is the grandfather of Amit. Okay, so the children of Springer School were celebrating children's grandparents day. Okay, स्प्रिंगर स्कूल के स्टूडेंट्स ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स डे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे थे एंड अमित के ग्रैंडफादर मिस्टर शर्मा जो सबके फेवरेट थे वो भी उस दिन स्कूल में आए थे. वाई ही वॉज फेवरेट? बिकॉज ही ऑलवेज टेल्स फनी स्टोरीज टू द किड्स. ठीक है, बच्चों को हमेशा फनी स्टोरीज सुनाते थे. ओके, सो he also asked children to sing a song. He also asked questions in between of the storytelling, and he sometimes get students wear mask and act. So he made students very much happy, and the children were very much happy to see grandfather. Okay, because he used to tell nice stories to the kids. What story are you going to tell us today, Grandpa? Asked one of the children. Do you want to hear an animal story or a funny story about silly people? A funny story about silly people, they all chimed in. So now the students are asking to the grandpa that what kind of story are you going to tell us today? So grandfather is giving them options that do you want to hear an animal story or a funny story about silly people? So the students replied that a funny story about silly people. Well, I have got your story ready, but first a riddle. One day a man was walking a man Grandpa coughed, "Go." Then he paused and asked, "What did the man buy and eat?" Okay. So now he's saying that okay, your story is ready, but before story I would like to ask you some riddle. Okay, some questions. So what was the question? That he says that one day one man was walking. Okay. Then he says a man, then he coughs, and then he says go. Okay, then he paused and then he asked that what did the man buy and eat? So in this riddle the answer is seen itself. Let us move on to the next page and see what is the answer. We will give you the answer later. Tell us the story first, the children demanded. So now the children were so much excited to hear the story that the children told that we will solve your riddle but after the story. First you tell us the story. So Grandpa began his story. So now from here we begin another story. Yes or no? A certain man by the name of Gopal was expecting a visit from a friend he had not met in many years. He knew that his friend liked mangoes very much, so he asked his servant to go and buy the finest mangoes in the market. When the servant came back, he showed the 2 mangoes he had bought to his master. Gopal was satisfied that they were the best. He told the servant to dice them and serve them to the guest when he arrived. Okay, so the story begins there was one man whose name was Gopal, and he was expecting a friend, okay, visit from his friend. He was his childhood friend, and they haven't met since many years. So his friend liked mangoes very much. So Gopal asked his servant to go and buy the finest mangoes in the market. When the servant came back, the servant showed the mangoes. Okay, 2 mangoes he bought. And he showed to his master that, are these mangoes okay? So Gopal replied, yes, they are fine. You dice them, means you cut the mangoes in proper way and serve when the guest arrives. Okay, so this was the introduction part of the story. The mango smell, oh, so sweet. I wonder what they taste like. If they smell so sweet, they must taste even sweeter, thought the servant as he cut them. I will taste just this one piece. Okay, so as I told you earlier, that Gopal told that you cut the mangoes, you dice the mangoes properly and serve when the guest arrive. So he started to dice the mangoes. As he was cutting, he was dicing those mangoes. He thought that the mangoes are smelling so sweet. Even you children like mangoes, yes? So just like this, the servant also liked mangoes so much. So he thought कि स्मेल इतनी अच्छी आ रही है तो टेस्ट तो कितना अच्छा होगा. So he thought that I will just taste one piece of this mango. However, he could not resist the temptation to go on eating. 1 became 2, 2 became 4, and soon there were no mangoes left. ठीक है, फिर क्या हुआ? उसने एक पीस टेस्ट किया. वो टेस्ट करके इतना अच्छा लगा. Then he started tasting the other piece as well. Then the other piece, and soon there were no mangoes left. अभी क्या हुआ? जो 2 मैंगो वो गेस्ट के लिए लाए थे, that servant ate. अभी servant ने मैंगोस खा ली. Suddenly he saw the guest coming towards the house. Okay, अभी मैंगोस खा रहे थे और सामने से दिखा कि गेस्ट आ रहे. Now what he will do? Because mangoes तो खा ली. And Gopal told that these mangoes were for the guest. Oh no, what am I going to do now? There are no mangoes to serve to the guest. Think. Okay, so now what is the servant saying? He's saying that what will I do now? Mangoes तो है ही नहीं, तो मैं guest को क्या serve करूँगा? So he started thinking that what story can I cook here right now? So now the story which he is cooking we will see in the next video. Okay, so this was the half part of the explanation. I hope you all have understood it. Thank you and have a nice day.